peeps? It's your boy, the Penguin, and I'm sitting next to my boy, the Watts.
That's right, but for the purposes of our wrestling show, Hitting the Mat, I'm returning as the Kilowatt. And we're sitting here with former WWE Superstar Jack Swagger.
Hey guys.
Hey, great to have you. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, and I'm sorry, I think all the fans want to know this. Do you know Batman?
Yes.
I love Batman.
Okay. Sorry. Penguin. Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I digress.
Everyone always says that to me, actually.
Martin Club had a similar...
I can't really see that. The thing is, I can probably say it on this one, but there's a story behind it because I got real drunk one night and just started getting them and going like a penguin.
Wow.
And I've had that name ever since then.
I don't think you can say penguin on air.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a little inappropriate.
Yeah.
But hey, so we were wondering, what was life like before your illustrious career of wrestling?
I mean, wrestling has always been a part of my life. I think if you do it at this level, it has to be a love. I got the bug early, 5 years old. I had two older cousins that I idolized, and they got me into amateur wrestling.
Nice.
And was very fortunate to grow up in Perry, Oklahoma, wrestling capital of the world. Was not athletic, was not strong, was not coordinated at all. Got beat so many times, and it wasn't until I really got to high school where I saw some success at it. So everyone out there, stick with it, and it will happen. In my case, my balls just needed to drop. I was a late bloomer. But I put on weight then, won my first state championship as a junior in wrestling at 215. Senior year, I jumped all the way up to heavyweight. Only lost one match that year. I was in football shape and not wrestling shape at the time. But played football as well in high school. Was like the biggest kid on the playground, so I got a scholarship. Oklahoma Sooners.
Boomer Sooners.
Yeah. Baker and the boys. Fabulous Baker boys. Baker touched me once.
Yeah. And of course, Jim Ross, right?
Yep. The good old Sooner himself, Jim Ross. Played football there under Bob Stoops. Also wrestled. Had great coaches on the wrestling team. Decided to switch over to that. Guess I thought I was a little too slow to play for the Eagles in the NFL. So I went.
If only now.
We would have taken you. might have won a championship. But yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. So how did you end up entering a wrestling career?
I met Jim Ross and Jerry Briscoe when I was in college, and they said finish up with school and get that degree so you got something to fall back on, which was great advice.
That was finance, right?
Yep. And so I finished up school in 06. Job searched for like 6 months and realized the best opportunity was with spandex and baby oil.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was in Dallas, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So you didn't go right to the WWE, right? You went to like a performance facility or like OVW or something?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough. I got to go to all three developmental centers. I started with Deep South in McDonough, Georgia, Bill DeMott, Jody Hamilton. Then went to Jesus.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Bowe.
Paul Bowe's going back out. Are we filming?
Yeah.
You guys smell that?
Yeah, you gotta come in now.
I'm just coming for a second.
So,
Yeah, just come in
Paul
and say
Bowe.
hi.
I'll come over and say hi to Jack.
Paul Bowe, keep spend all
Hey,
this
Hey,
there.
Paul, how are
How you doing, buddy?
Good, man.
Good guys here. Wicked Turtle Productions. I gotta go out and take care of the second half of the show. You guys got a great interview going on here. I gotta get out of here. Plus, I gotta go to the bathroom.
You know
Thanks
what?
for
We're gonna need a
gracing your
sign on this door. Do not disturb.
Yeah.
All right, I will not disturb. I'm
You have
sorry.
to, you have to,
This is being filmed right now, so yeah.
All right, just
Thank
make sure
you.
you shut the door when you're done.
you have to
Sounds good.
sing a verse of Killing Me Softly on the next episode now.
We're holding you to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Swagger, guys.
Should have tipped your waitress. Yep. Then I got to go to OVW with Danny Davis,
Awesome.
Al Snow, Robert Gibson.
TJ was there too, right?
Yeah, TJ was there, and then Dr. Death, Steve Williams was there for a little bit, Then FCW, we had an all-star lineup of coaches: Dr. Tom Pritchard, Steve Kern, Norman Smiley, Dream, so many people, Billy Kidman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, really a great situation down there. And it was cool. Like, Deep South was all two-a-days and technique and a lot of, like, kind of training that I was used to from football and amateur wrestling. And then OVW, they ran 4 or 5 shows a week, so it was good that once I got the technique down, then I could start going in front of crowds and like listening to them. And then FCW was a nice combination of everything.
Right.
So I was there about 2.5 years before I had something to market, and that they called me up.
Well, in that, before being called up, were you billed as the All-American, or were you running another persona?
No, I was fighting as myself, as I'm doing now, as Jake Hager.
Okay.
It was just all American, I guess, at that time. I wore the Oklahoma singlet a lot at OVW. Funny story about gear is, and then when I went to FCW, I switched to the more traditional wrestling attire, but I just had all black, like biker shorts on, and Steve Kern hated them, and he operated the camera, and he kept telling me, change your gear, change your gear, change your gear. And after 4 weeks and I hadn't listened, he was like, fine. So the show I was working at, he just zoomed in on my gear the entire match and just zoomed it like that. And so the next day, we watched the matches back. Everybody just got a...
Is this your gear?
Yeah, of my crotch. It was cold in there too, Steve.
Uh-oh. That's not so flattering. So who came up with the All-American idea when you did debut in WWE?
It was kind of a combination of who I am and then wanting to be larger than life.
Right.
The smile... Vince hated the smile. He loved to hate it type deal. So it was like be cocky, and then they kind of just added the swagger in there and the All-American, and it was cool. It was a good time. It was like at that time, like swagger was becoming like a real popular word in all the music and songs.
Oh, yeah.
And like we came out like right before it, so we were first, but no big deal. No one's counting. But WWE Creative came up. Yeah. TMI. Sorry.
That's awesome. So with that, who was your favorite manager throughout your run? You've had a few, right?
I had Vicky, and I had Dirty Dutch Mantell, Zeb Coulter, and now I got my beautiful wife, Catalina, Miss Catalina, the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Bro, I want my nut. Obayashi. So I have to say Catalina because she can punch me harder. But like working with Vicky was so awesome. Me and Dolph Ziggler had so much fun with her because she would get so into it out there, and we would just ask her fun little jokes while we're out there, and she's just like gun-ho, ready to fight, and just like perfect character, just great timing. And then I'll put working with Dutch up there with winning the World Heavyweight Championship. It was that much of an honor, and I feel like it was one of the best parts of my career. The Real Americans, me, Dutch, and Cesaro.
Yeah.
Really, really cool stuff.
So with that, I mean, that's probably the answer, but the highlight of your wrestling career is the championship, or is it another moment?
The World Heavyweight Championship is definitely a great list to be on, and very humble to be on that list.
I was just going to say ECW. What did you feel about that reboot of ECW? Because you were the champ there, too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. At that time, I was still so young and green to the business. It was hard to really gauge it. Even young when I won the World Heavyweight Championship. Looking back, very proud of both, and I get a lot of feedback from ECW, like that was people's or the fans' favorite character.
Yeah. I'll tell you now, fans are huge in ECW still to this day.
Well, those are Philly fans, right?
Yeah. Still to this day, not just Philadelphia. That's a worldwide phenomenon.
I liked it. I was very fortunate to work with guys like Tommy Dreamer, Fit Finley, Matt Hardy, Matt Seidel, Christian Cage, whatever you want to call him, Jay Riso. And those guys really took care of me and like understood where I was at and knew how to not only get a good match out of it for them, but to help me look good too.
What was like what was I gonna say? Where do you feel you got your best push other than for the championship?
It's hard to say. The big push for the Elimination Chamber was cool. I'd been off TV and off any show for like 5 months. I was going broke at home. I was like, come on. No. That was really cool. So happy with the Elimination Chamber match because it's hard to, like, we had such a good reaction for the finish of that match. And, I wasn't the crowd favorite, and they were trying to do a new character, and it's always hard not to force it in that fine line. And we did the roll up on the finish, which like I thought at the time was like, I'm winning. I should win with something. But the roll up just worked perfectly, and it really started it off. And I feel like I had a good push going with that. And then they had Dolph, cash in after that Mania,
right.
So we didn't even get like a rematch for
Probably
it.
one of the greatest moments.
Yeah,
To be honest, that was probably one of the greatest moments of cash
it was very cool. I went out there and did the heavy lifting for Dolph, and then he could come out there. So that was a good push. But like I feel like a lot, and I'm not just bitter or anything, because anything that I don't accomplish, I put on myself. But like. I had to really fight for everything I got. If I had a little bit of momentum, it was because we took this little idea and let it snowball and and let the fans grab on and take it. Because like We the People, the Real Americans, that was cut so short, the tag team, and we were just like we didn't even know what it was yet. It was just something cool.
Does that happen often? Like where something's gaining momentum and has potential, and they're just like, no.
All the time.
We always thought that was a good.
Yeah.
Was there like a deeper reason, or they just were just like,
You would have to ask the powers that be. At the time, Antonio was one of the main forces for making We the People popular and go from almost a heel angle to like one of the people chants, and help the transformation of the We the People. And he was on fire at that time. He had the big swing going that they took away.
Right, yeah.
You took one of those, right?
Well, yeah, I remember the moment, like, you guys were doing the We the People thing, and then he went to NXT and did that match with Sami Zayn, which was incredible, and now, I don't know, Sami Zayn just isn't getting the push I think he deserves either. But,
Yeah, it's tough. You can complain all you want, or you can go buy your own wrestling company. Then, all you can do is focus on having a good match and making of it what you can.
Fair enough. So now, after wrestling, you've got big things in the road ahead.
2018 is supposed to be your year, right?
Yep. Here at PPW tonight, fighting for the heavyweight championship against Mike Orlando. I haven't won a championship since the United States Championship back in 2012. So
let's this be the night. Yeah, about that.
I made it a point for 2018 to be big. I really put a lot on my plate. I'm going to keep wrestling because the independent circuit is awesome.
Yeah,
it's very popular right now, and you get a lot of good promotions out here doing good business. So I'm going to try to do that, and then train for Bellator during the week, and then sometime in between there, find the time to hit the super dad button and take care of my kids.
Yeah.
Being in the school, I miss them. I feel like I should be teaching them a lesson.
How is that like, being on the road and away from the family?
When they're young, it's easier because they don't FaceTime or anything.
Right.
But now, like, mine are 6 and 3, so I definitely get the more attention, and they understand Dad's on TV and stuff like that, which is cool. So it's tough being away from them. And at the same time, it's nice. I get to get a little sleep.
Yeah, right.
But it's just, it's not only a sacrifice for me to come out here and, be able to do what I love. They're really making a sacrifice for me to do this. And,
Absolutely, yeah.
And, you just got to keep that in mind when you're on the road and nights get lonely.
Definitely. Now, you have Bellator coming up. Do you have any more information about that at all, or?
I'm going to knock some Oh, sorry.
Oh, you can. You can, absolutely.
I'm going to knock some motherfucker out. There's all the information you need. God Here we go. Get me started.
Yeah, you're training with Dave Batista's trainer, correct?
Yep, Josh Rafferty, mad scientist. We're gonna convince the world what they missed out on.
Well, hey, maybe the XFL's in your
I was gonna
future.
say he might call you up for that XFL.
Yeah,
Who knows? Beyond Bellator, the XFL.
that'd be funny if all WWE wrestlers
just
switch to that in the
Yeah, the ones that
springtime.
actually like participated in football and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
that'd be great.
Maybe Roman Reigns would actually find some success.
Oh, come
Goldberg
on.
I'm sorry. That's
Okay,
I'll
now
take
I'm gonna stand up for the big dog.
I'll take it back. I do love the guy. I wish they would do something with him that
Yes.
suits him.
3 straight WrestleMania main events.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
No, I know. Oh.
I see you, big dog.
So I mean that pretty much wraps up what we have prepared for you. But you do have a website, right?
Yep, you can catch up with everything that's happening with me at thejakehager.com, thejackswagger.com, same place. And if you want any of that cool We the People LFR Life merch, it's right there, lfrlife.com. Follow my beautiful wife. She's way funnier than I am, way better looking than I am, and she shows her butt. Catalina
Wow.
Swagger, Twitter. Catalina Hager on Instagram, and then Jake Hager on Facebook, Real Jack Swagger, Instagram and Twitter.
This guy's got more content than we do.
Hey, he's
Yeah.
got more social media.
Hey, content is the new currency. Remember
what it
that.
is.
So can we say it?
Ooh, I thought you never asked.
Oh yeah.
Now, if you please rise, but we're going to stay seated. Put your hand over your heart and say along with me, We the People!
I got my mans right here representing Hitting the Mat. You already know. Tell them what's up, bud.
Penguin of the Watch, February 17th at PPW with Luca Brasi and his boy Jimmy Conway, South Philly's finest. Be there.
Make sure you catch us. Bank on it. Bro, I'll tell you, Jimmy and I, we got this thing. We always get cheesesteaks. Y'all down for cheesesteaks?
Yo, let's go.
Cheesesteaks.
Cheesesteaks. Eagles, Super Bowl.
Eagle Super Bowl.
Let's
Don't
do
forget
it,
that,
baby.
gang.
Ha.
SBF.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Hitting the Mat with Penguin and the Watch and your new PPW heavyweight champion, Jack Swagger. Now remember guys, like, follow, share, and subscribe for all things wicked. Can we say it one more time? No? Okay.
Why not?
All right. We the People!